So my name is Justin Lay. I'm the co-founder of a company called Hoodstarter. Hoodstarter's been in the rotation of my brain for about a year and a half. And about 2 months ago, we launched our site. So I'm going to spend these few minutes telling you essentially how Hoodstarter works and how we're going to change the world. So really, the goal of Hoodstarter is to forever change the way brokers fill spaces. We've all seen corners like this, right? We can probably name a few in this neighborhood. They rotate, they stay vacant. It's a problem for every community. So what we do is we bring together communities, entrepreneurs, and landlords to fix this problem. So for too long, conversations about what goes where, what moves in, have been left up to brokers and landlords. And sometimes this is okay, sometimes this is a really broken system. So, just like the news, entertainment, politics, sports, shopping, you name it, has been dramatically changed by the internet. And oftentimes the output looks a little bit like this, but oftentimes it looks like Uber, it looks like Airbnb, it looks like Zillow, it looks like Trulia, it looks like a lot of things that you guys probably use on a daily basis. It is really useful. So we've all had this experience, right? We drive by that vacant space and it says pink nails and it's been vacant for 5 years, right? And you think, you know what should move in there? How many people have had that experience? Raise your hand. You can think of a space right now and you're thinking to yourself, you know what should move in there? All right, I'm gonna give you a tool to do something about that. In fact, I've already given it to you. So every entrepreneur asks this question, right? Where should I put my business? Or, where will I have the most customers if I put my business in a given place? Or, where will I have the least competition? If I'm going to open a bakery, where are there a bunch of bakeries that I should be concerned about? Where will the community support me? If I move in, where will I have community support? Where does the community want me to be? And then also, how will I get funding? If I'm an entrepreneur, it takes money to start a business. How am I going to make that happen? A landlord asks questions like, who's the right tenant for this space? And they often hire a broker to help them figure that out. What does the community want? You know, sometimes there are neighborhood meetings, there are these analog ways of trying to figure this out, and sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. I would say most often they don't. Who's going to be a tenant that has staying power? I don't want to have to rotate this space every 6 months when another broken tenant moves out and, I try and find another one. Who's the right entrepreneur? Who can I count on to be in this space and function as a business that's going to be able to pay me rent on a regular basis? And then we have the community members. This is you guys. He looks like you guys. How do we get what we want in that vacant space? You drive by and you think to yourself, you know what should go in there? That's you. What does the rest of the community want? So it's not just about what I want, right? I'm selfish, but what does my neighbor want? What do we want at large? And how do we possibly figure out what is the number one thing that all of us want? And then, do we have a mechanism to actually make it happen? Usually the answer is no. And then, those people you saw in suits, how do we convince a broker and an entrepreneur that what we want is the right thing? All right, guys, Hoodstarter solves every single one of these age-old real estate problems that I just named. Here's how we do it. So step one is you list a vacant property on Hoodstarter. Anyone can do it. A broker can do it. Ideally, a broker would do it, but anyone can do it. You can walk by a vacant space. I'm sorry, you can't do this yet. End of October, you'll be able to do this. You can walk by a vacant space, you can take a picture, and you can list it on Hoodstarter. And you can share it with all your friends and say, this is what I think should go in there. What do you think should go in there? And then you can vote. So you can say, I want a bakery to go in there. Come vote for my bakery. And the reason that you're going to try and get people to vote for your ideas is because the ideas that get the most votes are the ones that will get noticed by entrepreneurs. And those are the entrepreneurs that will try and start these businesses. So now we can use the ideas that get listed on Hoodstarter as a way to get community backing. We can convince the landlord and the broker that this is what the community wants. Because now we know, because it's the idea that has the most votes. And then the entrepreneur can come in and say, I want to open a microbrewery in Frogtown. And I'm going to count on your support, count on the funding to come from the community. So those 100 people that voted for that microbrewery in Frogtown are now the foundation that will help make that happen. So this is not equity-based crowdfunding, this is perks-based crowdfunding. So maybe you guys know the Northbound story or the Groundswell Coffee Shop story, but essentially, I will give you free beer for life if you invest $1,000 in me right now. So you voted and said, I want a microbrewery in Frogtown. Now's your chance to actually make that happen. So really, everyone wins and gets what they want out of this transaction. The landlord gets a tenant that the community wants, that can hopefully be there for a longer period of time in a more sustainable way. The community gets the business that they want to be in their community. And the entrepreneur can get funding and know exactly where they should put their business. So, Uber changed the way you get a ride. Airbnb changed the way we get lodging when we're away from home. Zillow changed the way we do residential real estate. And Hoodstarter is forever going to change the way we do commercial real estate transactions in this country. That's Hoodstarter.